Hi guys, it's ElaineAlways, and I've been working on something that I think would be really cool, and I just wanted to show you guys it. It's something I like to call the syrup system. It's a rig that I made in Blender that is, for the most part, completely functional and usable for the majority of animations you would do with a MapleStory character. So everything is fully posable and movable. We also have multiple sort of gestures that the character can do, even outside of just puppeting and moving. The mouth changes, the eyebrows change, the eyes. We have the simple blink switch for when you just want to quickly make the character blink. The smirk switch not only works, but it even works with lip syncing, which I created or worked with an automated lip sync add-on, which allows you to kind of remove a lot of the hard work of lip syncing manually. It will use sounds and audio clips and create a fairly accurate lip sync. And what's awesome is even when you use automated lip syncing, the smirk switch, which allows the character to smile when it talks, will still work. So if you have a character smiling in mid-conversation and you still want to be able to animate that even when you automated it, it will still work. It says the eye target. It moves around where the eyes look. These are the eye squish bones, and when you scale them down, not only do the eyes close or narrow, but you'll also see that the eyebrows will gently go down. Because in real life, when we close our eyes rather tightly, our eyebrows do tend to lower. Not a lot, but a little, and I find that bit of punctuation tends to sort of add to the emotions of the character. Then we also have a couple just extra emotes. This one just allows you to turn the character around we always need that sometimes. There's always a point when I feel like it's valuable, especially if a character's like spinning. This gives that sort of classic face shadow of when a character's upset. And this is the blush switch, so that allows them to blush. So all of that's awesome. And what's even more amazing is that you can use an image file, a single image file, to make this character any character you want. There will be a single image file which will serve as essentially the atlas or the skin of the rig. And you can modify that one, you can make multiples of it, etc. to create numerous rigs, and all of them will be as fully functioning as the one you see here. So you can make numerous characters. And that system of placing images together will always be usable. Even when I change the rigging system, the images will still be an important part, and I will still make sure to keep the skin files compatible, so even if I update the rig, your image files will still work with newer versions. To showcase in Krita, an open source image editing software, what the image file looks like, there is a primary layer, which is what Blender, our animating software, will see, so to speak, and use. And then there is something called the guide layer, which is sort of a group of layers. And these just help you know where to place things. So it just shows, heads, arms, legs, and it sort of hints at what you should put where, so that if you're struggling to line something up just right, the guide layer will help you. And it's important that your images line up as expected, or you might have some unexpected consequences, like things sort of floating off the face, so to speak. So it's definitely good to use that guide layer. Now, this image file is a Photoshop file, which, while you can use Photoshop to edit it, you can also use Krita or Paint.net or a whole variety of programs as far as I'm aware. So don't be intimidated by that. I just prefer to use a Photoshop file because most programs can open it, including Blender. So this single Blender file and this single image file, which can either be a PNG or a Photoshop file, is all you will need to have a fully functioning rig. And the only two things you would ever have to change to modify that from character to character are these two things. I do want to clarify also that both Blender and Krita are completely free. And not just, if you go to some sketchy website, they're free. No, they are completely free. They are open source programs, which means they will always be free. They are designed to be free. There is no intention to monetize them. The purpose of them existing is for everyone to have access to them. So, I would highly recommend that if you're dealing with frustrations with software being hard to get or having to switch softwares every now and then because of changes to the way they work, that you consider open source. Because with open source programs, you're not going to have to jump through as many hoops to get the software that you need. And so that's why I chose Blender. I previously used a different software, but I dealt with that issue of like having to jump through a lot of hoops just to make things work. And after a while, feeling like the software I was using just wasn't very good anymore, trying to upgrade to the newer version and having everything that I previously made not work or fall apart. So basically, there's just a lot of pitfalls to be had using software that costs money. Even if you can afford to keep buying newer versions if you would like to, there's going to be a lot of unexpected consequences in it. Even if you elect to choose an old version of that software, there's the issue of if you ever change computers or if you ever work with someone else, you won't be able to transfer that same amount of information. You may, if you're lucky, find the same install as that program that you used before, but oftentimes that can be really difficult, and even harder when you're working with other animators that may not use the same software. So this is what's cool about the syrup system, is that if you use the syrup system and I use the syrup system, there's more potential for us to collaborate and help each other. And I'm not saying you've got to use what I use to collaborate. Absolutely not. I just think it's really cool that I can make something and it can be completely usable to other people. So, this is a syrup system. It's not perfect. It has bugs. I will be releasing it. It's completely free. You don't have to give me credit. I would love if you could try it. And if you like it, great. If you are just looking for an opportunity to get a rig that would optimize or speed up your process, absolutely give it a go.